Hey guys, it's Lacey. So for Schooling Saturday today, I'm going to teach you how to make a play scene. For this tutorial, I'm going to assume that you already have an image that you want to use for your play scene created. If you do not, you can edit one of the game play scenes in Photoshop or whatever your image editor of choice is. So once you have that, you're going to go to your babyz folder and navigate to Resource and then Area, which is where all of the play scenes are kept, be it game play scenes, downloaded play scenes, whatever. So you're going to find the play scene that you want to base yours on. We're going to be working on the nautical family room today, so we're going to use the game family room as a base. So the first thing you're going to do is open it in Lens Pro, and then you're going to go to where it says bump at the top, open that out, and then you'll see it say family room or whatever room you're working on. That is the image that you'll need to save in order to edit it. So to save the image, just right click on where it says family room and say save to file. And then you can name it whatever you want. I'll just call it family room. And then you have to add .bmp at the end, otherwise you won't be able to open it. And then once you've saved it, you can just navigate to where you saved it and open that in your image editor and go crazy. Do whatever you want to it. And once you have the image created, go back to Lens Pro and right click on where it says family room here and click replace from file and then use the one you created. And that will replace the image with the one you made. So save in Lens Pro, and that's all we're going to do in Lens Pro for right now. So you can go ahead and close it, but if you want, you can test it and make sure that the image actually did replace. So as you can see, our default play scene is now the one we made. Although as you can see, it has a few little things we'll need to fix. For example, the fireplace is still there, the curtain is still partially yellow, the top of the couch is a little wonky. So obviously there are things that we still need to do. But overall, it did work. So you can go ahead and close babyz once you've looked at it. And then what you're going to want to do is we're going to open it in Tinker. In Tinker is where you will find all of the extra pieces of your play scene, such as the windows, the fireplace in the family room, the cabinets in the kitchen, the slide in the backyard, anything that has like an extra piece that works on its own or is animated or whatever, those will all be done in Tinker. So since in our play scene we don't want to have a fireplace, I replaced it with this little mantle. So I'm going to get rid of the fireplace and I'm going to change the curtains on the windows to be blue rather than yellow, and I also changed the couch a little bit. So we're going to have to edit all of those things in Tinker so that they show up the way we want them to. So the first thing we're going to open is the fireplace. So all the sprites are here in Tinker, and as you can see, it's like the moving fire, and then this is just another frames of the moving fire. That's the fire when it first begins. That's the fire when it turns off or extinguishes, and then this is just the fireplace when there's no fire. So what we're going to do is take all of these frames, every single one, and we're going to replace them with, since we don't want the fireplace, I'm going to make them just completely transparent so you can't see them and you'll just see back through to the play scene image. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to export the fire image, whichever one you want. They're all the same size, so you're going to just pick one and then just save it. And then you're going to open it in your image editor. And there's the fire. And then just select it. And if you delete it, if you're using pink, then just delete it. Otherwise you can fill it with that pink transparent color. But Tinker does accept transparent pinks. So I'm going to use it as a pink. So just completely delete it and then save it as a blank PNG. So we're going to say fire blank .ping, and then go back to Tinker and then click import and then use your blank one. And you're going to want to use that same image for every single frame, which is a lot of work, but you know, what can you do? So once you're done, then all of those will be gone. So I like to just like copy it and then paste it. I find that to be a little easier than like select import. I just copy what the first one I did and then just replace it all the way down so that it's a little faster. That's like one of my little tips that I do. So if you've done it correctly, just save that, and then you can go back to your play scene, and voila, no fire. It's completely transparent. If you did want to have a fireplace, or you wanted to change the fireplace or whatever, then you could edit the image to look like, you know, that area in your play scene. So you can edit them all or reuse the flames or whatever you want. It's up to you, but since I was removing the fireplace, I just completely got rid of it. So the next thing we're going to focus on are the windows. So close that, open it again in Tinker. And this time we're going to select wind. And it's the same kind of thing as the fireplace. It just shows one version with the window closed and one version with the window open. So you'll need to edit both of those. All you really have to do for that is if you're changing the curtain or the sofa, you'll have to edit that. Now what I usually like to do, so that I know that I have everything like right where it's supposed to be, is I'll save it, and then I'll go to my image editor and I'll open the window in that. Those are my already completed ones. Where is, here we go. So what I'll do is I'll just select all and copy it, and then go back to my edit version, and then I'll just kind of like align it. Whoops. Have to make sure it's not in index color first. Anyway, I'll paste it on and just like line it up to where the window would be, and just like double check and make sure it's not, you know, make sure it's in the right place. And then I'll select the entire thing and leave out this part because it tends to, it's like weird with transparency. But anyway, select that, copy it, go back to your window you're trying to replace, paste it, but first copy the correct version. Anyway, paste it, and then you have your blue version, right? So that's what it'll look like then. And then when you save it, we already have a saved version here. When you save it and go back to Tinker, you can import it. Hold on. I have to actually save it. So I'll call it window state. What is this one? Open or close? This one is open. Open blue curtains. Okay, so then you go back to Tinker and go to the open one, import it, and then voila, you have a blue curtain. So obviously we did not do the closed version yet, but just as an example, see how the window is open and the curtain is blue now. So basically anytime that there is, like I said, anytime that there is a animated piece or a piece that works separately from the play scene background itself, that will be something you have to edit in Tinker. More examples of this are like the slide in the backyard will have its own thing. Actually, I can show you the, let's see, backyard. I think this might be one of my edited ones, but that's okay. We can still look at it. So yeah, just the slide is in the backyard, and see how it's just the front of it. So if you have any, you usually won't have to edit this unless you're taking out the slide completely or replacing it with something. If you just want to keep the slide, you can use this to change the color of it, or at least that half of it, and the other half you'll have to use in the background. Or you can, you know, make it darker if you're doing a nighttime play scene, or you can change the grass or whatever. That's how you do it, the same way I just showed you. So once you have finished with all the pieces in Tinker, then you're going to decide if you're making a overwriting play scene or a non-overwriting play scene. So if you want to make an overwriting play scene, then that will mean that anytime you open the game, for example, like I just did, when you go to the family room, it will just automatically, by default, be the one that you created. Whereas a non-overwriting play scene is one that you'll have to access through babyz. And your normal play scene, your normal family room or the room that you're working off of will still be the same as, you know, the default game one. So, to make it overwriting, you don't have to do anything else. Once you've edited your Tinker images and your bump image in here in Lens Pro, then you're done. You're completely done. It already overwrites and you're all set. If you want to make it non-overwriting, then there are a couple extra steps. The first thing is you have to go back to Lens Pro and open the RC data area. And here you're going to want to change the display name, Lacy Nautical Family Room. And then make sure when you're changing the display name, make sure that your file name is also called the same thing. So you're going to want to go to Family Room here and call it Lacy Nautical Family Room. So it has to match or else it won't work. So anyway, reopen it in Lens Pro once you've changed the name. Go back to RC data, so those two match now. And then also change your ID number. Generally, just kind of find one that works, and then you can go from there with each additional play scene that you make. I had to experiment a couple times. The ones I used for my toys didn't work, so I just kind of messed around with numbers until I found one that showed up, and then from there I just go up. So yeah, just find a breed ID that works, and then go to your string list area, expand that, click on 63, and you're going to want to change the first two family rooms to your display name, whatever you called it. So we called it Lacy Nautical Family Room. So the first two are going to be called Lacy Nautical Family Room, but not the third one. That's very important. That one has to stay the same. So you've changed your two and you've changed your RC data, and now the play scene should be non-overwriting. So if you go into here, it didn't open because we don't have our regular family room in. Always make backups of your originals. That's an important lesson, and I'm glad that came up. So always make a backup. If you're making an overwriting one, make a copy of it and rename that one, and make sure you don't lose it. However, if you do accidentally lose your original family room or whatever rooms, we do have copies of them all on babyz.org. So anyway, go back to babyz, and then as you can see, we have our normal one back. But if you go to babyz, you can get to the play scene from there. So you have just made a play scene. Congratulations. If you have any questions, I live on milk. You can ask me. But hopefully that will help, and I can't wait to see all the cool play scenes you guys make. Yay! Bye!